Legendary.
Take it on, bro. I don't hear myself. Come on. Huh? Okay. Yeah.
Legendary. Cubans and Conians. I lose rings all the time. Why would I want to flush money down the toilet for something so inglorious? When I got a diamond mind, I shine through my stories, bruh.
You are now listening to the Shaw Report with Damian Banks.
Hello.
What's happening? What's up? What's going on? It's the Shaw Report, and I am your host, Damian Banks. Shaw Bear alums and fans rejoice. You have your very own podcast hosted by moi, Damian S. Banks. You know what time it is. You know how we do. Follow your boy on Instagram and Twitter at Sports by Damian. That's SportsByDaimeon. And Shaw University Athletics are on social media across all platforms. On Twitter, it's at Shaw Bears. On Instagram, it's SU_Bears. And on Facebook.com/Shaw Bears. Another week is in the books. I hope you guys out there had a fantastic 7 days. This is the Labor Day edition of the Shaw Report, the official podcast of Shaw University Athletics. Go to shawbears.com for this podcast. Shawbears.com is also the home for anything you want to know about Shaw University Athletics. If you want scheduling, if you want to look at coaches, bios for the players, anything related to Shaw University Athletics, you can find on shawbears.com. Like I said before, this is the Labor Day edition, and hopefully you're listening to this podcast and you're off of your 9-to-5 job. If you have a 9-to-5 job and you don't feel appreciated, you don't love the job, this is your day off. The federal government has mandated that you have one day off a year. They call it Labor Day. And this is the day that you get to chill at the house. If you want to put something on the grill, put something on the grill. If you just want to relax, then do that. But this is the Labor Day edition of the Shaw Report. And from me to you, I appreciate everyone out there who has a 9-to-5, because believe me, it ain't easy being cheesy. But I digress. Again, I'm Damian Banks. You're listening to the Shaw Report. Got a great show for you this week. Football season is back, ladies and gentlemen. The Shaw Bears kicked off their 2018 season. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Last week on the podcast, we had head coach of the football team, Adrian Jones, talking about the upcoming season. And those guys did kick off their season on the road at Hampton University. We'll talk a little bit about that. We also will bring back the Shaw Bears Scoreboard. A lot of things going on in the athletic department. Volleyball has started their season. Men's soccer is kicking off their season. Also, we're going to give you the CIAA scoreboard. Got some football scores for you. Everybody was in action this weekend in the CIAA. Going to give you a couple of CIAA scores on the gridiron. I told you, dog, we rocking, we rolling. It's the Shaw Report. I'm Damian Banks. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take this quick commercial break. But if you do, come right back. You're listening to the Shaw Report on Spreaker Radio. Hey Shaw Bears fans, refresh your game day with the new and improved real Coca-Cola taste of Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, with 0 calories and 0 sugar. It's college sports' newest tradition. Grab an ice-cold Coca-Cola Zero Sugar and taste the feeling. Coca-Cola, proud sponsor of Shaw University Athletics.
You are now listening to the Shaw Report with Damian Banks.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to the Shaw Report. I am your host, Damian Banks. Bruh, I do it after every commercial break. Follow your boy on Instagram and Twitter at Sports by Damian. That's SportsByDaimeon. And Shaw University Athletics are on social media. On Twitter, it's at Shaw Bears. On Instagram, it's SU_Bears. And on Facebook.com/Shaw Bears. Follow us both, and we thank you kindly. As I said before, Football season is back. Head coach Adrian Jones and the Shaw University football team kicked off their season on the road with a familiar foe, the Hampton University Pirates. Now, this was the 38th meeting between the two schools, but the first time that they've played in 40 years. Since 1978, people, was the last time that Shaw and Hampton squared off on the football field, but they did it again this past Saturday. Unfortunately for the Bears, they dropped this one 38-10. Offensively, senior quarterback Keon Marsh had 148 yards passing and a touchdown, but he was only 10 of 23 passing. That's not going to cut it if you're a quarterback. Running backs didn't have a good showing for Shaw, only 9 yards on the ground as a team. North Carolina Central transfer Darrell McClain did have a 66-yard touchdown reception for Shaw, but the offensive line needs to improve. If you want to win these games, if you're head coach Adrian Jones and the Shaw Bears, you have to control the lines of scrimmage. Offensive line play and defensive line play is critical if you want to win these games. And Shaw University just didn't do the job that they needed to do to win this game. Defensively, stellar defensive standout Devin Hunt had 12 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss, a sack, and he also recovered a fumble. Shaw was able to pick off 2 passes. Sedante Fuller and Shaheed Swinson both had interceptions for the Bears, but Shaw University allowed 302 yards of total offense to Hampton, and they gave up 38 points. Now, Hampton blocked the punt for a touchdown, so I guess you can say the defense only gave up 31 points. But Shaw has to improve defensively. They most certainly have to improve offensively if they want to compete at a high level, both out of conference and in conference in the CIAA. Good thing is, it's the beginning of the season, only game number 1. So they have to put this game behind them, prepare for the next week. They are on the road next week at another tough opponent, Mars Hills, before they come back for their first home game September the 15th. So head coach Adrian Jones and the Shaw Bears go back to the drawing board, get your team prepared, put this game behind you. You got a long season ahead. Again, offensively, you have to be better from the quarterback position. Whether it be Keon Marsh or whoever plays quarterback, you have to have some consistency at the quarterback position, and you definitely have to improve on the offensive line in order to run the ball. Defensively, you can't rely on Devin Hunt every game. He's going to show up, no doubt. Devin Hunt is a beast. He gets the job done. But you got to give up less than 302 yards of total offense. You got to give up less than 31 points. You got to be better defensively if you're Shaw University. It remains to be seen if they can do this, but those are the things that I think need to be done in order for them to win games consistently this season. Like I said before, it's early in the season. There's plenty of time to make adjustments if you're head coach Adrian Jones and that coaching staff, but you want to get better as the season progresses. It remains to be seen if they're going to be able to do that. I hope they will. If you're a Shaw University fan or alum, you hope they will as well. But with that being said, Coach Jones, get those guys in line. I know you can do it. I talked to you. I have so much confidence in you and your coaching ability. I know it can be done. We're going to take this commercial break. When we come back, we're going to give you the Shaw University scoreboard as well as the CIAA scoreboard. Don't go anywhere, but if you do, come right back. You're listening to the Shaw Report on Spreaker Radio. This portion of the Shaw Report is brought to you by Summit Hospitality. Summit Hospitality is a proud sponsor of Shaw University Athletics. With 6 Marriott-branded hotels in the Raleigh area, Summit Hospitality can manage all of your lodging needs. Make your reservations for your family or a group by calling 919-669-0576 and let them know that Shaw University Athletics sent you. That's Summit Hospitality, 919-669-0576.
You are now listening to the Shaw Report with Damian Banks.
What's good? Welcome back to the show. You're listening to the Shaw Report. I am your host, Damian Banks. Don't act brand new. I do it after every commercial break. Follow your boy on Instagram and Twitter at Sports by Damien. That's SportsByDaimeon. And Shaw University Athletics are on social media. On Twitter, it's at Shaw Bears. On Instagram, it's at SU_Bears, and on Facebook.com/Shaw Bears. Before the break, we talked about the football team starting their 2018 season on the road at Hampton University, a disappointing 38-10 loss by head coach Adrian Jones and the Shaw Bears football team. But don't fret, fans. It's early in the season. Adjustments will be made. The Bears will be better. They're going to be getting ready for a tough road game this week as well, on the road at Mars Hill, before they return home on September the 15th. But without further ado, we're going to get into the Shaw Bears scoreboard. We start with men's and women's soccer, who were supposed to debut their seasons this weekend. The women were on the road at Chowan, scheduled for September the 1st, but that game was canceled due to inclement weather, or postponed due to inclement weather. No makeup date has been scheduled thus far. The men were supposed to open up their season at home against West Liberty, also postponed due to inclement weather. No makeup date has been scheduled for that one either. But today, the guys are in action versus Shenandoah, 12 p.m. at Mack Field, 8924 Midway West Road in Raleigh, North Carolina. Go out and support new head coach Matthew Brown and the Shaw men's soccer team. Next up, we have volleyball. New head coach Christina Coleman was named this past week, but the Bears started off their season on the road in Daytona Beach at the Embry-Riddle University Tournament. Tough losses to Valdosta State, host Embry-Riddle, Lynn, and Westminster, Utah started off the season, but the Bears got their first win Friday, 3-0 versus UNC Pembroke at the UNC Pembroke tournament. Now on Saturday, the Lady Bears dropped the next match 1-3 to Coker, but they bounced back with a 3-0 win over Lee's McCray. They ended off the tournament with a 0-3 loss to Lenore Ryan. The Lady Bears are now 2-6 on the season. Next in action on September the 8th in the CIAA Roundup in Petersburg, Virginia, on the campus of Virginia State University. Elizabeth City State, Chowan, and Virginia State will be competing in that one. And that was your Shaw Bears scoreboard. Next up, we have the CIAA scoreboard, football edition. Thursday, the Bowie State Bulldogs fell 40-23 on the road at Wagner, despite 365 yards passing and 2 touchdowns from all CIAA quarterback Amir Hall. Also on Thursday, Livingstone was blasted by Pikesville 52-23. And Wingate shut out Johnson C. Smith by the 36-0 score. Saturday, Virginia Union knocked off Seton Hill in overtime, 34-28. Virginia State fell to rival Norfolk State, 34-13. Fayetteville State blanked Lincoln, 32-0. And also on Saturday, Winston-Salem State was supposed to take on UNC Pembroke, but that game was also postponed until Sunday due to inclement weather, and that was a great game. Winston-Salem State jumped out to a 16-0 lead before another weather delay, in which after the weather delay, UNC Pembroke scored 20 straight points. It was 4th and 1 with 40 seconds left for Winston-Salem State. Running back Kerryon Moore caught a tip pass and took it the distance to secure a 23-20 win for Winston-Salem State. And that was your CIAA scoreboard. Well, ladies and gents, no interview for this edition of the Shaw Report. We do have new head coaches for soccer team, men's and women's. Matthew Brown, we're going to get interviews with him in the upcoming weeks, as well as new volleyball coach Christina Moore. But no interviews for this week's edition of the Shaw Report. So I have to bid you guys adieu. I hope you guys have a great Labor Day. Relax. Put something on the grill if you must. Have an adult beverage. Do what you do, baby. Until next week, remember, never take no for an answer. And if the door is locked, dig a tunnel underneath the building and sneak your way in. This has been another edition of the Shaw Report. I'm Damian Banks. I got 2 words for you people. I'm gone. A heap
sees, but a few knows.
Only a few.
So many have come before, but only a few can go. We invite you to our house.
That's 109.
Just make sure you wipe your feet at the door. 109 Cushman